Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the BSI Comics Podcast.
Or Vodcast.
2017 edition. It's a year later, and we're still arguing about this.
Yep.
It's not really a year. How long have we been doing this?
2 years.
No, but this.
2 years.
We haven't been doing this 2 years. We've done this like
this is
6
new.
months.
I haven't seen you do this a lot at all.
I'm not allowed to curse in this show.
Anyway, hope you all had a nice New Year's.
Yeah, and Christmas. Did we did a Christmas.
Yeah, we did it end of the year.
Right. So technically, whatever. Yeah, have a happy New Year. I don't know. I do a lot of shows. It's kind of hard to keep up.
Right, I just do this one.
Yeah. No, you do. Well, we do it irregularly, but we do. What is it called? Full Metal Mouse. And we have an episode that we need to work on soon for Full Metal Mouse.
Fantastic.
So look for that.
So we thought we'd start off the new year talking about some stuff that we're looking forward to in this new year.
Yes. Well, originally we were going to do comics because there's previews for March.
Mm-hmm.
But we're probably going to hold back on that one for a week.
We kind of know the landscape up into around there, kind of what's going on,
But what we're going to talk about on this episode is upcoming movies to look forward to in 2017.
Because there are a lot.
Yes, there are.
A lot.
So, I guess we'll start at the top of the list. You want to read it?
We can do that. The first one for me is Alien Covenant.
I know you're really excited about this.
I'm really excited about Alien movies. Prometheus wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing for me.
John Lord, who used to work at the store, was really funny about Prometheus because he went and saw it the first time, and that was the impression. He was like, actually, no. What he said specifically was like, I don't really know how I feel about that movie. I need to go see it again. So I went and saw it, and he's like, it was actually pretty good. And so he saw it like 3 more times, and by the end of it, he's like, it's actually a really good movie. It was just very weird how like every time he saw it, it was
I had
just
almost
this weird progression.
the same reaction. Because like I just watched it again recently, like last month. I'm like, I haven't watched this in a while. Let me go see. And I was like, all right, this is good. I just don't know that I need that much.
Right.
You know, I don't need to know exactly where they came from, I guess. I kind of like the fact that it's kind of like the Joker. I like the fact that he's just a homicidal maniac.
Well, but it was Ridley Scott. It wasn't some random director. So
Right.
Presumably he has sort of a plan for all this. Although, wasn't it co-written by a Lost guy, Damon Lindelof?
I don't know.
I believe it was. And so maybe it's not as much Ridley as it is Lindelof, who I think has a role in Alien Covenant as well.
Yeah, great.
And I'm not a big Aliens fan. Like I think I've seen the first one, but I'm not a horror guy. So
They're not horror movies.
yeah, they are.
The first one, a little bit. The rest of them are just
They're not
action
like Freddy
movies.
Krueger, but they're definitely
Right.
sci-fi horror films.
But
Like the first one was all suspense.
this, yeah, very much so. Right. The second and third are all action though. They're not horror movies at all.
I don't argue the second one really is.
You haven't seen it, so trust me.
I know enough about it. So yeah, I know you were really excited about this. Even if I was a Aliens fan, my thing about the trailer was it's a lot of like things coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you are an Aliens fan, I can understand being excited about those things. But as someone who isn't, I don't have any reason particularly to go see this. And to be complete, like, or I don't know why I used that word. That was odd. But as far as Alien Covenant, like, it takes place after Prometheus, but I get the impression you don't necessarily have to have seen Prometheus. And it all takes place before Alien.
Right.
So this isn't a movie like going to see, what was the one, Alien Resurrection. It's not like that, you know, or Aliens 3, where you probably need to see the other ones to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if they're looking to get in new audience members, I don't know if it's that successful.
That shower scene, though. Anyway.
Come on. I mean, you can't, look, and that goes to the fact that it's a horror movie. Everyone in a horror movie who has sex dies.
Oh, I'm not even talking about the sex. I mean, that was just awesome. The whole, you watch the trailer, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Right.
But, so the next one. Look, I'm not complaining about this. I don't know what to expect. Unlike Batman vs. Superman, I don't know what to expect from Justice League. I know the executives at the head of Warner Brothers freaked out when Batman vs. Superman did not do well. And no, it didn't do well. It made money. It did not make the money they wanted it to. It did not make the money it needed to. It made their budget back plus... It doubled its budget, which in general is good. But when you're talking about spending more money on a movie than any other movie in history, right, you need to do more than double your budget. When you spend $500 million, $1 billion or so is not. It's good, but it's not what they wanted. They spent that money because they wanted to eclipse They wanted Batman vs. Superman to be the number one movie of all time.
More so than even money, though. I think personally, I care about just the people talking. I mean, generally, when you ask people about it, you get kind of like a 50-50. It's a
50% movie. You know? There are people who think it's the greatest movie of all time. I know some of these people. That's fine. I mean, look, it's all opinion. Actually, that's not true. If you like Batman vs. Superman, you think it's a great movie, that's cool. If you think it's the best movie of all time, and I know people like this. I can't use the words that I'm trying to use.
Oh, well, you're wrong.
That's not the word I was looking for. But
I know the word you were going to use.
But, no, it's a 50% movie. And so people freaked out, and, people love movies like Guardians and Ant-Man and what have you. And so they tried to change the tone, supposedly, a little with Suicide Squad. I still haven't seen it. I know you have. But the trailer of Batman vs. Superman is clearly a lot more jokey, which isn't... It's.
You mean Justice League?
What did I say?
Batman, Superman. Just making sure we're on the right
Justice. I'm in Justice.
Yeah, they did throw the jokes.
We're going to be throwing so many names around. Nah, it's weird. Like, I feel like all Warner Brothers has to do is just have a conversation with somebody like us, because they don't get it.
Or anyone in the comics industry.
Like, it's not. Well, I don't know if that's true. There's people who completely disagree with us, but they don't get why these movies, the Marvel movies, are successful. It's not jokes. It's tonally. It's don't take yourself so seriously, and that doesn't mean Batman shouldn't be making jokes. That's the thing they don't get is they're like Dark Knight was dark, so let's make these movies super dark because people like darkness. No, Batman is a dark character, so you can it's the Dark Knight, so you can make dark movies.
Superman is not a dark character,
right? So you don't make a dark movie. But now they're like, well, I guess people wanted darkness, but now they want the opposite. People change their minds. So they're going in the opposite direction. Like, let's just make Batman jokey. No, Batman's not a jokey character.
My biggest problem with, most of these...
I said I wasn't going to complain, and I'm complaining.
It's, there's all this history that precedes these movies, which is why people love the characters. Because they love the character. And there's all these stories, and there's all this history... And they just kind of take it and they're like, man, people really love this. You know what we should do? We should change it because they don't know what they want.
Well, I don't know if it's... Well, there is an element of that, but I think some of it's also stupid comic fans.
Why you don't know what you want. Let us tell you
what we listen to them. Right. But that being said, the teaser trailer that they put out didn't look horrible. It didn't make me want to see it, but it didn't look Batman versus Superman.
It looked better than anything else they put out.
Right. Well, no, the Wonder Woman trailer was pretty good. Except for that little tag that we talked about on a previous episode, the weird big woman making, karate moves, very Rebel Wilson-y stuff. Aside from that, the Wonder Woman trailer looked really good.
Or the slow motion.
The slow motion's going to be... We'll get to that in a minute. But we can almost make these two one. But, but so Justice League, show me a good trailer, I'll go see it. I don't know what to expect from it, because, again, they're changing tones. That could be a great thing. There's plenty of movies that I think look silly in a trailer, and then you watch them, and no, it's amazing on film. So,
I mean, look, this whole Avengers build-up, they started putting stuff out, and it just all kind of came together, and it felt natural. Mm-hmm. You can't just force it together and be like, well, these guys are a team, so blah.
Well, that is one thing. We'll get to Wonder Woman in just a second, right. But there's one thing we were talking about a second ago. I didn't notice it at the time, but they made Man of Steel. And then they immediately went to not just Batman vs. Superman, but they went to 2 films. That's usually... The reason Marvel does 2 films a year is because... And are they doing 3 coming up? Technically.
Kind of. Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little while. But the reason Marvel went to 2 films a year is because it was justified. Those movies all did really well, and many of them did better than was expected. No one expected Guardians of the Galaxy to be the juggernaut it was. No one expected Ant-Man to do really well, Doctor Strange. These were unknown quantities. But they didn't know how Batman versus... I mean, they assumed it would do well. And, of course, it technically did. Suicide Squad, they had no idea, so it's weird that they jumped to 2 movies immediately. And they're keeping with 2 movies.
It's almost like they want to force the singles out so they can hurry up and put Justice League out.
I think it really goes to what I've said all along for the last 5 years. Warner Brothers isn't interested in making good movies. They're interested in making money, which is fine for a company, but it's putting the cart before the horse. And the way to make a lot of money is to make a really good movie, that people want to see and want to see sequels to. It's not to go, we have a formula for a movie that we're sure will work, and then put it out and just assume the money's going to come in. And then when it doesn't, to double down, which is what Warner Brothers is doing. But again, Justice League looks like it could be okay. And then there's Wonder Woman, which, like I said, the trailer looked good.
Pretty.
Well, actually, I don't remember what you said about her, but most of the compliments that I heard about Batman vs. Superman were about Wonder Woman, which was one of the characterizations that I was a little hesitant about going into Batman vs. Superman. I thought Ben Affleck was good casting. Henry Cavill was a good Superman, even though...
It's not his fault.
No, it's the writing. And cinematography and
blue flares.
Everything else but him. The casting with these movies is usually pretty good. And Gal Gadot I wasn't sure about, but how did you feel about it? I don't remember.
She was awesome.
Okay. So 90% of the things people said about her were good. So that going into a movie, and I feel like Wonder Woman's a movie that they'll give a little more leeway to. I don't...
The Wonder Woman could kind of be like their Guardians of the Galaxy.
I wouldn't go that far. I think Suicide Squad was probably what they were attempting.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, with characters like Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy, you don't have a lot of fan interest in them. I mean, Harley Quinn, but beyond that, no one cares about Rick Flag. No one cares about Deadshot.
Slipknot.
Most people don't even know that's a character.
Captain Boomerang.
Absolutely, no one cares about Captain Boomerang, arguably including Captain Boomerang. But so movies like that you can take chances with, which from what I've heard they kind of did. The chances didn't really pan out.
It happened. It was fine.
But Wonder Woman I think is similar, even though she should be one of the most important releases. I feel like they don't, and realistically, no one looks at Wonder Woman the same way they look at Batman, and particularly Batman and then Superman, to a lesser extent. But I do feel like they probably gave a little more free reign with this character. So,
but it's more like we're getting the Trinity than the Justice League.
What, in Batman versus Superman?
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Well, Justice League. This isn't a spoiler. Actually, I guess it could be a spoiler if you didn't see Batman versus Superman, but
you didn't see it, so
Superman dies at the end of Batman versus Superman.
Or does he?
But I fully expect him to be resurrected or in the process of resurrecting at the end of the first Justice League movie. Because it's a 2-parter, right? Like that was the impression I got, is that it's going to be like a jointed movie.
I'm curious to see how they're going to do a Justice League movie with no Superman.
Well, I mean, originally Justice League didn't have Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman. It was like Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, Flash, and I'm missing somebody. I don't remember who. Black Canary?
Maybe.
I think it was Black Canary. I don't know. It's hard to remember.
Kind of like the Avengers. You just kind of plug in what you want.
Avengers I remember, but doesn't matter. So, yeah, Wonder Woman. I'm interested. I don't know if I'm excited exactly, but I'll definitely see it when it comes out.
I'm curious.
Yeah. Next one isn't a comic book movie.
It is not, but
it's the 3rd movie in the Planet of the Apes reboot.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the prior two?
Yeah.
I actually haven't. I didn't have an interest in the first one. The second one I did have an interest in, but I didn't get around to.
No, they're really good, really well done. Really good movies. No one else really to say about it. If you like Planet of the Apes, you'll like it.
It's
social commentary.
It's it's Caesar is the name of the main. So it's the main ape Caesar versus what's his name? From Cheers.
Norm.
No, I'd watch that. I'd watch that movie. No, Woody Harrelson. It's Woody Harrelson. Yeah. So, in a very different role than you've ever seen him in, which is saying a lot.
It's good though. I mean, go check those out. It's pretty cool.
It's a good trailer. Not really much to say about it beyond that.
No.
This next one I have a little bit to say about.
Are you not a fan?
I was a fan of the original anime.
Never watched it.
Ghost in the Shell?
Not a big anime fan.
You're a little bit younger than me, though. I was a teenager when Ghost in the Shell came out.
It's pretty big deal, though. I mean, this is that they're finally doing a movie.
It's a big deal, but and I don't go in on the. Look, we talk a lot about like race swapping in movies, and I say it goes both ways. Scarlett Johansson, I get it. She's a bankable name. She shouldn't be playing the main character. What is it? Sarge, I think is her name. I haven't seen the movie in 20 years plus, actually. She shouldn't be playing the main character in this movie. She's not Asian. Leave characters alone. It's simple. It goes both ways. You can't complain about Mary Jane Watson and just go, I have no problem with Sarge being white. It doesn't make sense. And also, I'm a little sick of the Scarlett Johansson as like a sexual object thing. I think she's an attractive woman. She's not this goddess that some people make her out to be. She's just like, she's fairly attractive. She's good as Black Widow. She's good in many of the movies she's in. That's about it. Like, it's just, I don't know.
So you're not going to see this movie?
I'm not like banning it. Like, I'll never see it. But I'm not interested in this movie at all. Are you?
Not really.
Because it was an anime, or just the trailer didn't look good?
The trailer looked interesting. It looked like one of those movies that looked, like really spectacular. Like, what was that movie? Like Ultraviolet or whatever, and ended up being crap.
I never saw that. But Ultraviolet looked exactly like another movie that's coming out this year. No, I was going to say Resident Evil, but...
No, I like Resident Evil. Those are entertaining.
Some of them are.
Dude, that's a popcorn action flick.
The later ones are just... I literally walked out of a free showing. The one that's like they're stuck on a tower. Which was like not the last one, the one before last.
Yeah, with the airplane.
Yeah, I had like a free pass to see it, so I was like, all right, I'll go see it. It's Resident Evil, whatever. Like you said, it's a popcorn movie.
Right.
And I remember watching it. I was just sitting there, and I was like, good Lord, this is terrible. What? Why am I? And then I realized I was like, I didn't pay to see this. I was like, I walked out. And there was like another 30 minutes to the movie. I had no idea. I was just like, this looks like a good stopping point. And I just bolted.
Anyway.
Right. So Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Another movie that race swaps, the Beast for Emma Watson.
Anyway.
Sorry.
This looks pretty cool.
I haven't seen the trailer for this one.
How?
I mean, it just came out 2 days ago.
They had the teaser trailers and everything. You haven't seen any of those?
I don't think so.
Damn.
I don't know. I think Emma Watson's hot. Like, I'll probably see this. I feel like the Disney making animated movies into like live action movies is pretty mixed bag. I actually really like Maleficent.
Very mixed bag.
I thought Maleficent was really good. What was the last one?
The Maleficent was almost like a Wicked. It wasn't really like a retelling of something that had already been done.
It added a little more to the story, and,
yeah.
It shifted perspective. But no, it's the story of
right. But it shifted the perspective. Whereas like these are just straight up.
Yeah, well, this one in particular, in Jungle Book,
Into the Woods. I don't think that was a remake.
No, that wasn't.
But
it wasn't very good.
I think I got like half an hour into it, and I was like,
that's about where I was. I only watched that because I'm a big Anna Kendrick fan. But,
Jungle Book.
There was like 2 more. I don't know. I know there's another one coming out. Cruella de Vil starring.
Peach Dragon.
Yeah, but it's just a straight up remake. That's not because only part of that was animated.
Okay.
Yeah. But
anyway,
I'll go see it. I don't necessarily think it's going to be. Let me say, not that I don't think it'll be good, but I don't think it'll really be worth translating into live action. I don't think there's anything to add because that movie's beautiful. You know.
I think some of the character designs look cool. You know.
Yeah, it's a little more twisted than the cartoon, obviously. So.
But I am curious for that one. I'm sure we'll be going to see that.
Yeah.
Because Hermione's in it.
At least have the soundtrack at the very least. So, what's the next one? Oh, actually, this one I'm really excited for. If there's one Warner Brothers movie or DC movie that I'm super excited for, it's Lego Batman.
Why don't they just take that and make that the live action movie?
I don't think they're smart enough to do something like that, to be frank. It's made by the same guys that did the Lego movie, Lord and Miller.
Lego movie was fantastic.
Absolutely. One of the best movies of that year.
The Lego games.
We were just talking about that. I just got a PlayStation 4. Y'all just bought like a bunch of Lego games. But I've been playing Lego Batman 3 since Christmas Day, or not Christmas Day, but the day after. And man, those guys get it. I don't know how much connection Lego movies have to Lego games. I assume there's probably a little bit because I think it's some of the same technology just beefed up.
Right.
But they just get it. Like, they're so into, like, DC lore and inside jokes.
The humor is there, like you said, the inside jokes.
But even though it's plenty inside jokes, it's not inaccessible to people who don't know anything about it.
If you've never played the Lego games and you play PC games, go on Steam right now. They're like $5 on Steam sale. Do yourself a favor. Get the Avengers or Marvel superheroes or the Batman ones. They're fantastic.
But yeah, I've been waiting for this movie for a while. Anything that Lord and Miller do, I'm willing to look at because they did 21 Jump Street, they did Lego Movie, they did something else. I can't think of it, but they're solid. Everything they do, it's a good story. It's very funny. Absolutely.
The little bit of Batman that we got in the Lego Movie was awesome.
And actually, one of the nice touches, we're talking about like inside stuff. In Lego Batman, they're going to supposedly have every incarnation of Batman is going to be represented. You're going to see Adam West in there. You're going to see Keaton.
Rainbow.
Oh, I meant specifically the voices. But yeah, there'll probably be a Rainbow Batman at some point. There's actually in Lego Batman 3, one of the...
Yeah.
Anyway. But Kevin Conroy, finally seeing Kevin Conroy in another Batman movie, hopefully a big part. I'd hate it if he was like my minor role in it, but we'll see. Anyway, couldn't be more excited about that movie. Actually, that might be one of the. Looking at that list, that's probably in the top 5 of movies I'm excited for in 2017.
Right. As far as horror movies go, I know you're not a big horror movie fan.
No.
I like horror movies. It's hard for me to go see them and watch them because my wife does not like horror movies at all.
She can go see Lego Batman with me.
Y'all can go see Lego Batman. I'll go see horror movies with Mauer.
There's a new Friday the 13th. Is this a sequel to the reboot, or is this another reboot?
I think this is just a standalone. I'm not sure. I can't imagine it being a sequel to the reboot. That would make any sense. A new Halloween. There's a new Saw.
I've actually seen some of the Halloween movies and a couple of the Saw movies. I don't know if those need sequels.
No, the Saw movies are fun, though.
Well, to be fair, though, with both of those, actually all 3 of those movies, we haven't seen one in a while. Lately, they've been doing a lot of, like, The Purge and what's the other one?
Well, they're starting to do all these over again. I mean, in the next couple of years, we're going to get, like, a new Leatherface. Oh, It. They're doing It this year, too.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
So...
Or, I guess it's not a reboot. It's another adaptation of the Stephen King novel. Whatever.
Pretty terrifying.
Not a lot to say about that, really.
No, it's a good year.
If you're a horror fan, you're going to go see it.
Right.
So,
it speaks more to just the volume of stuff coming out this year that I don't know if it was like this last year, but I don't remember like 2015 or 2016 being like this excited about this many films.
I actually, well, I'll agree with you, but I don't think I knew everything that was coming out.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people, because I heard somebody the other day, it was on M-Hog, a guest of ours was like, yeah, I didn't see a lot of movies this year. I'm a big movie person, but there were no good movies this year. I was like, what are you talking about? There were some great movies this year. I just like rattled them off. Like, there's this. And, maybe you just aren't paying attention.
Right.
I don't know. The other movie is not much to say about because it looks awesome. Is Logan. It has the possibility of being the first Wolverine movie to hit a home run. I liked Wolverine, or the Wolverine.
The Wolverine, yeah.
The first Wolverine Origins is better left not talked about, but first Wolverine was pretty good up until the last, I'd say, 15, 20 minutes. And then it just completely falls apart, but up until then, So overall, I was like, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But this one, trailer looks awesome, Although it does go to what we were talking about in the previous episode, that maybe sometimes the music that they put on the soundtrack or on the trailers plays a bigger role than, and we know this subliminally, right. But like they put the Hurt cover on top of it, and it's like it gets to you. So, but I think even if we shut that off, I think it would still.
But if this leads us to like an X-23 live action movie, it's a pretty good transition. It's a pretty cool character. Maybe a lot of people don't know. I mean, that would be a new thing for Marvel, bringing on something like that. That's more of the current comic stuff.
I don't know if they do that. Like we know that the girl in it is Laura, but we don't know to what extent. Like, is this just? No, but I'm saying like we don't know that she's going to turn into X-23. We just know that she's Laura.
Cool.
She's like 13 years old in that movie. All right, well, I guess we'll see. I hope she dies now.
Jesus. It's fine. They can just make another one.
I don't mind killing a little girl.
She's a clone. Anyway, now if they decide to like make her not the clone and not then you're doing that thing again where you're like, you don't know what you want. We'll tell you what you want.
Kong Skull Island. I don't have anything to say about that one.
It looks cool. It's a giant King Kong.
The next one.
The coolest thing about that is that he's going to be fighting Godzilla.
In the next one.
Mm-hmm.
That I'd watch.
Hell yeah.
So.
Anyway.
The next one I also don't have much to say about because, and this will be one of those ones where you give me a look. I've never seen Blade Runner.
I tried not to. I'm sorry. Okay. Fair enough. This is something.
It's one of them that I guess I've always thought like I'll get around to it.
You just never did.
Yeah.
I can understand that. It's not.
It's also kind of daunting
like
because there's like 5 cuts of Blade Runner. From what I understand.
Yeah,
you got to know which
really long.
You got to know which one to watch.
This is another one. I don't know that we really need it, but I don't know that I won't like it.
It feels like a cash grab because
on Blade Runner.
It's still a name, and it's another franchise. Well. Sort of franchise with Harrison Ford.
It could be kind of cool. I mean, we'll see. I might go see it. It just depends. That might be one I'll wait on.
Power Rangers. I will see. I don't know that I'll see it in theaters.
Definitely see this.
Okay.
Yeah. It might be a complete bomb.
It looks good. It's just.
It looks.
At the end of the day, it's Power Rangers.
It's hard to take
kind
something
of care, but
like Power Rangers and make it into a serious motion picture.
Well, did you see that a couple years ago? They did that. James Vanderbeek played. Was it Tommy or the Red Ranger?
It was Tommy, right?
I think he played Tommy.
Yeah.
But that kind of showed. I really wish those guys were making this movie. I'd be way more psyched about it. But it looks good. I do think
the suits and like the Zords and everything look just kind of. Mm-hmm. I mean, they tried to make them look cool, which is kind of hard to do. They're giant robot.
The only thing I'll say about it is that it looks very Twilight-y. Like it's very, or maybe more Chronicle-y.
Okay, that's a little better.
Like they're focusing less on the Power Rangers aspect of it, more of a like super powered, moody teens. That's what I meant by Twilight. Like moody, emo teens. But again, I think I'll see it. The trailer looks pretty good. So, This next one, like, we probably should move along, but I wanted to talk about it because I'm a fan of the franchise.
We all have, like, those bad movies we love.
First of all, actually, I can't deny that these are terrible movies.
Thank you.
The Kickboxer franchise. So, Kickboxer 1 is basically a Bloodsport ripoff.
Yeah.
Van Damme didn't want to do a sequel. I guess because... Doesn't matter. But the studio wanted to do another one, so they were like, all right. So they got Sasha Mitchell, who was mostly known for doing Step by Step, and they got him to do the basically be the main character, Stallone's brother. And in the opening scene, they kill the two other brothers. Supposedly, there was only two brothers, but they miraculously had a third brother. And so the two brothers from the first movie were killed off in the opening scenes. The second one plays out like a vengeance story where he goes after the guy, blah, blah, blah. The third one's like a movie where they get involved with drug runners. And in the fourth one, it mirrors what happened to Sasha Mitchell, who went to jail for beating his wife. And the fourth one's the softcore pornography movie where the main character comes back to jail after being accused of killing his wife to go and... it's absolutely insane. But they're apparently ignoring the three sequels and doing another kickboxing movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is completely insane. And I kind of want to watch it just because it's insane.
Probably won't see this one in theaters.
I will.
I don't think it'll go to theaters.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
It's JCVD.
Right.
I thought it was JCVD for the rest of the movie. I won't.
Anyway,
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
I think I'm at the point where I'll almost definitely see it in theaters, depending on what I hear about it beforehand.
I'm going to see it in theaters.
I'm still a little butthurt, but trailer looks undeniably good. We've discussed this previously. But
looks good.
Know.
It looks like a good Spider-Man movie. Teenage Spider-Man.
Next one, maybe the movie that I'm most excited about in the foreseeable future. Guardians Volume 2.
Yep.
Nothing less to discuss about that. Baby Groot.
You wonder how they were going to follow up that first one. Like you said, it was kind of like the surprise hit. Like, nobody was expecting it. It just kind of came out of nowhere and just killed.
When I first heard that they were making one, my response, like Wayne on MHOG accused me of saying that it was going to suck. And I said, I didn't know that. I didn't say it was going to suck. What I said was, I can't imagine a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy finding an audience. And I was 100% wrong.
Because you love the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the comic. Not the Brian Bendis one. The comic it's based on, loosely. It's loosely based on. It's great comic, but it's very weird and very inside baseball. Mm-hmm. You have to know a lot about the cosmic universe to get the original version of Guardians of the Galaxy. But, like you said, came out of nowhere, destroyed, and the sequel's trailer was the number 2 downloaded movie of all time for a minute. So, I don't know. So
they did it again with the music, the trailer.
And Baby Groot.
Did you go see the first Guardians? Were you there with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all went. It was 9
Yeah, I had no expectations going into that, and I just left the theater just blown away. So.
What's the next one? I can't see.
Thor
Ragnarok.
We know nothing about this movie.
Absolutely. And I like that. It's the Marvel Studios that was a few years ago before Age of Ultron. You don't know anything. We want you to be excited. It's not totally true.
We know Doctor Strange is going to be in it.
Yeah,
we know Hulk's going to be in it.
I saw Blake Petit saying...
We know they're going to be fighting monsters.
He was under the impression, we didn't know for sure that he was going to be in it. I was like, I think they pretty clearly said he was going to be in it at the end of Doctor Strange. Not taking a shot at him or anything like that, but yeah, we know Hulk's going to fight, presumably in a Planet Hulk scenario, a gladiatorial arena kind of thing.
Everything they've put out so far has this kind of 80s vibe to it, which looks kind of cool,
I was a big fan of the last Thor movie, Dark World, so I'm down. Because we don't know anything, there's not a lot to say.
Yeah, this could go off into the cosmic, I guess. Not really like cosmic.
It's gonna go. It's gonna be more Asgardian than any other movie,
which looks cool.
Yeah. So what's the last one? I can't see.
The last one we're both really looking forward to.
Monsters Inc. 3.
It is, of course, Transformers.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to see this movie. There's no doubt. I see it all. Absolutely.
I'm not. They got me with the last one, but after seeing the last one, I
may be sitting in the theater. You'll see me like this the whole time, like the last one I watched, and I think my hands were in a constant state of WTF-ness. But I'll still go see it. I love the Transformers too much. Maybe that's part of the problem.
It's not really a Transformers movie, though.
You're right.
That's a King Arthur movie. Actually, the real last one is Star Wars Episode 8, but another movie we don't know anything about.
Don't need to?
Well, there might be some changes to it before the end of the year. Now that Carrie Fisher's dead, we don't know if she was Princess Leia was intended to die in Episode 8 originally. I kind of hope she was, and they don't have to do any drastic editing.
Or she's just off-world.
Yeah, they have to address it. They can't just let it slide.
No, they'll address it. But,
So, but again, we don't know anything about it, so there's nothing really to say about it. So, but it's an exciting year for films,
Lots of good stuff. And it's the whole year. It's not like we're just getting, bangers in the middle. It's, starting really, really early. We got stuff all the way till the end of the year.
Yeah, I think there's something at the end of well, I know if you're a Resident Evil fan, that's coming out at the end of the month.
Right.
I'm not sure about anything else, but I know starting into February, should be getting some cool stuff. So, I guess that's all we really have to talk about.
That's it.
We don't have any recommendations for today because it's Monday. We haven't seen the new comics, much less read them. So, yeah. Were there any comics from last week that you would recommend?
I'm still behind on last week. I did read the end of Civil War. Civil War, pretty cool if you've been following the story. It's wrapped up neatly. There's one thing in there that's really, really stupid. Other than that, it's pretty solid. And I'm not going to spoil anything. You'll know what it is.
I think it comes down to if you've liked Civil War so far, have been reading it so far, and you're willing to overlook the problems with it because you enjoy it, then you'll enjoy the end of it. I didn't care for it, personally.
You will agree that one thing was really stupid, though.
Yeah, I think I looked up at you when I read it and said, what is this? I'm trying to think. I know there was something that I liked that I read this past week, but I just can't remember what it was.
I still have a couple books to read, so looking forward to reading those.
Nothing from IBX came out. Well, there was a tie-in, but I didn't read it.
Right on.
Anyway, well, we'll get back to you on all that. So
next week, we'll be looking at the landscape of the first quarter of comics, pretty much.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. And, thank you for watching. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. You're at Fletch Boogie. I'm at Uncle_Reb, R-E-B. You can also find me on the Metal Hand of God podcast if you're into
debauchery.
Yeah. Or if you like theme park podcasts, I'm on Drum Grunting Hosts, which is getting a lot of good reviews. So get on the love train. Yeah. All right. We're done. We're out of here.
Yeah.
BSI Comics Podcast.
Read more comics.